everyone, welcome back to my channel Ali Girl. I am Betül Yıldız, New York-based fashion technology blogger. But lately I start to make reviews about the things I enjoy, and today I want to make a review about this new Netflix series called Rise of the Empires Ottoman, right? Did I say right? Oh my gosh, I'm making a start and I don't even know the name. Okay, yeah, I did right. So, Rise of the Empires Ottoman. So why did I watch this series? As some of you know, I am from Turkey, so I was curious what was going to be in this Netflix series. I was surprised when I see the actors were Turkish, but they were speaking English. It was interesting. I wasn't hugely taken aback about that, because I read some reviews from most of the Turkish people and they were weirded about it. I totally understand why they didn't English, because they were trying to reach the more people with this series. And I watched the interview with the director, who is also Turkish, and he said he wanted to do this in English because he wanted to reach more people, but he preferred to shoot this like documentary drama with Turkish actors, because he thinks this is a Turkish story and he thinks the Turkish people is gonna show it better than some maybe 80s celebs. I don't know if he has enough money for that. Okay, keep going. So I love history and I like to watch historical series, movies, reading about history, and I always a huge history fan. When I was in school, I always get A+ grades in my all my exams. So it was no surprise for me to like any kind of historical movies. My husband, whose name is Fatih, Mehmet Fatih, which is the same name with the star of this series, Mehmet II, the conqueror of Istanbul. So he doesn't like anything political. He is not interested in history. So this is one of few things I could sit and watch with him. This is why I sit and watch with him, and he also enjoys. He only likes to watch things about Mehmet Fatih, because of his name, I guess. So yeah, going back to this scene, I have some notes. I don't want to give too much spoil. So first I'm gonna draw a general line. What should you expect? What are you gonna find about it? That's all. Then I'm gonna give some spoils about it. My rate for this docudrama is 8. I see a perfect code for this docudrama in IMDb. Someone said it's not quite a documentary and not quite a drama. I 100% agree to that person, because it's not drama, because there are some experts keep coming in between the scenes, and they're giving some drawing some historical facts for you. They were supposed to fill in the blanks between those scenes, but I don't think they did a great job in that, because there were some places which I'm not gonna talk about, because if I talk about it, it's gonna be spoilers, so I'm gonna talk it at the end. They're supposed to give some feeling between some scenes, but that is not quite true. If you're a Turkish person, because you know the history, you understand what's going on. But if you are a foreigner, you're American, or British, or whoever you are, you're not gonna quite understand what's going on in that particular scene. So I don't think it's a quite feeling giving the facts. And at the same time, what I realized towards the end of the whole series, it's 6 episodes by the way, I realized these experts, most of these experts are writers of some novels. I don't think they are historians. Even the 2 Turkish guys who were supposed to be advisor of this series, even though they both are educators, I heard one of them is not even historian. So that was kind of weird. Why did you even pick that guy if it's not historian? And the foreign advisor or like speculators, some of them were writers. I'm not sure if they are right people to talk about historical facts. So I'm not sure if we can quite say this is a documentary. And I don't find, there are some missing parts. And I'm saying this from the Turkish standpoint. There are some things we learn and, from our historical lessons, you didn't see those things in this documentary. Perhaps they think some of them are not needed to be seen for the wider audience, which are not going to be interested in those facts. Maybe that was the reason, but some stuff are missing, oddly missing. That's my feeling. So it's not a good documentary because I don't think it's fully objective or like fully covering every facts. And it's not like a regular TV drama, because there were some narrators talking, there are some like advisor keep cutting to the scene and keep talking. So what I think about the quality of the shooting, it was good. You shouldn't expect Game of Thrones quality, of course, when you think about the budgets, but at the same time it wasn't so bad, because right after I watched this series, I go and check there is another TV show about Ottoman Empire, about the Suleiman the Magnificent's love life and some Ottoman business, and some of the war scene in that TV show, it's so comical. When you compare this with that one, you're gonna feel like this is a lot quality than that one. But at the same time, I feel like I see one other review, and it was saying he didn't like the these narrators and like experts keep cutting the scenes. He didn't like that at all. I didn't find that was annoying. I was okay, and because I knew this was like docudrama, so I was ready to see some people keep cutting and talking. Maybe that was the reason I didn't feel weird about it. But I feel like why they go to that route, making this very interesting story to make a docudrama, I feel like because they don't have enough budget, and I feel like they don't can't create like great war scenes like we saw in Troy, or like we seen in like Game of Thrones, because of the budget. And when you think about it, when you see like a bland historical war scenes, and you feel like, oh, this is so amateurish, it's so childish, you're gonna give those feeling. I think instead of giving that amateurish look, they cut those war scenes with experts talking. Your mind right away cut thinking about that war scene, how beautifully shoot or not, then you right on your listening this expert talking. So they kind of like block those scenes with expert talking. I feel like that is the reason they go in that route. Yeah, so that was my take. If you enjoy historical documentaries, scenes, if you're particularly interested about like some European history, and like how when Ottoman Empire, because most Europeans has a common history background with Ottoman and today's Turkey. So they know, they have some knowledge about Ottoman Empire, but most of the Americans, they have no idea. As an American, if you're interested in like Middle East, what was going on in Europe in the Middle Ages, this is a great story to check. You can watch this docudrama, then maybe you can read more about it and then you fill the blanks. So this is my review without spoilers. And now I'm talking about some points. Okay, so one of the scenes, the Ottomans kill ambassadors. I am not sure that is an accurate thing. From my knowledge, it's of course debatable. I am not an expert on this topic. From my knowledge, if the ambassadors insult some way your supreme leader, they might get killed. But other than that, I never heard such a thing before. So this makes Fatih is very childish and very not in his right mind. And when you see all these, experts or like writers, as I said in the beginning of the movie, you're gonna see like even for his young age, he was a very interesting figure. He is very knowledgeable. He's very sophisticated. He knows like 5 languages. He knows geometry so well. He knows about astrology. He studies foreign religion. So I don't think he's gonna do such a childish maneuver just before taking the decided on siege. And they didn't show the time he made a lot of preparation for the siege. So you're gonna see a lot. He kept talking about like even 2 of his ancestors tried to take the Istanbul, Constantinople, but they wasn't succeed. And other than his ancestor, there were like so many others try to take the city. So he was well aware the obstacles he can face. So he had a 2 year of preparation. He made so many preparation with his army. There is also even I think that was a very important fact they didn't even mention in this docudrama, that Fatih was the Sultan who made killing your brothers are state matter, and it shouldn't be like registered as like killing someone. And he makes a law for the state matter. You can kill your brothers, and that was approved by that time's religion. You can discuss, this can be a whole another video, this topic can be a whole another video to talk about, but I'm not a historian. I'm just interested in that fact, and it was so interesting. We didn't hear about that part at all. And Ottoman history was, had a full payoff on this subject, and he was the first guy to actually bring this. And that also shows you how dedicated to his mission to seek Istanbul. He was a crazy dedicated man for this, goal of his. Like he even killing his, brothers for that matter. I think that was an interesting fact to talk, but they didn't talk at all. So let's go to the clothes. So I'm not sure if the Ottomans at that time wear all like leathers. Of course they should wear some leathers, but I'm not sure like if they were all the time like when you see the war scenes, the Fatih was, Mehmet was always in his leather clothes. And the most funny thing is about he had this fur coat. I think it looks very nice. He looks very handsome with it. But that fur coat make him look like Starks, one of the Starks. He even looks like Robb Stark in most of the scene. And I didn't get why on earth you wear fur coat in the middle of May and April in Istanbul. Istanbul is not that cold. And I'm talking about today's climate conditions. We need to check the facts. Maybe like thousands, like hundreds of years ago, maybe it was cold, I don't know. But when you think about it, he took to Constantinople at the end of the May. It's basically summer. Why are you wearing fur coat and galloping your horse to meet your stepmother? And that, to me, it was so comical. But that made him look so like glamorous, handsome, like very nice actor. Maybe that's the reason they did it. But I don't know. Yeah, to me it was so funny. Harem scene. So that was something very funny. I don't think that scene was accurate. There was we call harem ağzı. These guys are not like fully men, because I don't know the terminology for that in English. There were some men, works for harem, but basically their balls are taken out, so they can't fully function as a man. So that was a fact. But I don't think that harem ağzı can go inside of the hammam. That scene was totally to satisfy Western idea about harem, I guess. So I don't think that scene was accurate. Other thing I want to talk about is golden horn ships. So that is one of the brilliant things the Fatih came up with, since he can't get inside of the golden horn to take the walls from the golden horn part. They were the weakest part. He couldn't get inside because there was like this huge chain you're gonna see in the series. So he get an idea of to put the ships from the land, move them in one night. Some sources say like they put 72 ships from land to the sea in one night. 72 ships. It's incredible. It's crazy. That was and one of the episodes was all about that event. And when you look at the whole series, they didn't use that ship at all. We didn't see anything about that ship, those ships later on. So it was bizarre. Like, you make such a fuss about that thing and you don't even mention later on. There is another one thing about they first show up and they never mention Orhan. I think it was Mehmet II's uncle. They show him in the first episode, and they didn't show him at all after all. And I know the fact that he was actually in the war side by side with the Byzantine soldiers, and we didn't see him at all. That was interesting. There was so much unnecessary love scenes. So if this is a drama, I understand, but when it's a documentary and when those love scenes put any helpful information to this documentary, why do we even have that love scenes? I think they were trying to show a city in distress, and there were people, even in the war, people were trying to live their life. Even in the war, you can find love, blah blah. I think it was so boring. I think it was unnecessary. I assume they were trying to seek female audience for that, but believe me, if a female audience doesn't like about history at all, and this documentary 90% is about historical facts, why do you even put that 10% love scene, unnecessary love scene, to seek female audience? I don't know if that is their intentions, but to me, that was the only reason to put those scenes. So that was other thing. I feel like acting was very good. I really liked the acting. I am not sure about the war scenes. So many people are objecting about the war scenes. Since this is a siege, defenders of the walls, some people think they never go and attack outside of the walls. I am not a soldier. I don't have any background to discuss about this, but from my other historical movie watch. I never see such a thing actually. Yes, if somebody defend their castle, they like 90% of the time they stay inside of their castle and try to defend their castle inside until the attackers try to get inside. That part was, I don't know if it's accurate. Maybe they were trying to show how bravely Byzantine soldiers tried to defend their home. Maybe that was the only way to show their bravery. Most of the Turkish viewers were so annoyed by Giustiniani's legendary war skills. I wasn't annoyed by it at all. Since in the beginning of the narration, you're gonna see it says, to one empire to be rise, the another must fall. From that sentences, I take this is a story of rising Ottoman with the leadership of Mehmet II, and on the other hand, Byzantines try to defend their home and they try to survive. So there must be two sides of bravery. And Giustiniani, maybe it shows little weird because he's not Byzantine, he's not Orthodox Christian, and why this guy is like defending their like for like giving himself. Like I know he's a soldier for money, but still I'm not sure. Like he killed at the end. I mean they say he killed at the end. So I don't know. But I wasn't annoyed by his scenes. I was okay with it. Maybe people were like want to see Mehmet more because he was the conqueror. I love the actors. All of them are so good. I like their speaking English. I didn't get annoyed. Most of the Turkish people has something to do with the accents. Guys, you are the only ones who are obsessed with accents. I never seen anybody try to correct my accent in New York, and I live in here for almost 9 years now. Of course they correct me if I pronounce something wrong, but I never see anybody try to fix my accent. And so from that standpoint, some Turkish people criticize the actors, I guess, because of their English skills. I feel they're fine. And when you even think about the Game of Thrones or some other historical series, you're gonna see they represent people who are foreign to the story, they are speaking English with an accent, so which is fine. So don't be over the head about this accent thing. Cem Yiğit Üzümoğlu, you are incredible. I love you. I love your acting skills. You show Mehmet II in a very realistic, humanly way. You show him as like he's angry because he's so ambitious about his goals. You show him like very talented. You show him like I love all the acting from Cem Yiğit Üzümoğlu. I would like Tuba Büyüküstün more, but I am not sure with the English. I couldn't quite get her acting skills. I'm not sure. I'm in between for her. But all the other actors, I love them all. All of them did a great job. I actually like the Constantine. I think he's a Greek actor. I like him a lot too. And of course, the narrator, Charles Dance. We know him from Game of Thrones. He put a great addition to this series. So overall, oh yeah, just before I go, I think there must be a guy they should mention and they didn't talk about him at all. That was kind of interesting for me. They didn't talk about Akşemseddin, who was a teacher for Mehmet II. He got influenced by him so much. and he was such an important figure of all the siege of Constantinople, and I don't know why they didn't even mention him at all. I feel like maybe Mara, the stepmother, is an important figure for Mehmet II, but I think she was such an important role in the whole series. I think the reason they made her such an important figure for Mehmet, because they kind of cut out of Akşemseddin from the whole scenery. I feel like that must be the reason why she was such an important person in the whole series. Yeah, that was that. So yeah, I like the story and acting and everything overall. There must be some better, indications of the whole thing. But I quite enjoy it. If you like the historical series, historical events, history overall, you're gonna enjoy this show. And yeah, that's all. Bye. Just see my shirt. Start.